Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stefan, and this is the Tequila Hour. And today we got another edition. You guys remember a couple months back, I was doing some vlogs regarding Chris and Paige, Married at First Sight. The wife got me into that show. Well, we're going to do another Married at First Sight edition. And this time we have a friend of mine coming through who is actually on Unmatchables. And let me present to you. Let her introduce herself. Here she goes. Come on over here.
Hello, I'm Nisey. Episode 7 of Married at First Sight Unmatchables. The Whipping Witch was what they titled it. The Whipping Witch. Okay. And the Empty Wardrobe, I believe, was the full name of the title.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta love those story producers.
Right. I feel like they did that just for me because I'm a book nerd. So it was a shout out to C.S. Lewis, well, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Oh, God. So gotcha. I loved it. My date Chaz was not too pleased with being called an empty wardrobe. But
wow. Yeah, I bet. Well, we're going to get all into that in just a minute. But this is your first time sitting on the couch, and when you get on this show, on the Tequila Hour, we always start this off with a welcome drink. And this time we have this tequila that I picked up when I was in Texas. This is Harana, or Harana, something like that. We'll figure it out. But this is a Blanco. You guys know I don't usually do too many Blancos, but I actually tried this, and I think it's damn good, smooth. And it was between $15 and $20. And for the price, it's better than a lot of shit in the $30 range. So, Bernice, here you go. Here's a glass for you. There you go.
This is like a double shot.
Are you scared?
Not scared.
I mean, if you were scared beforehand, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should have let me know,
Not scared.
Okay, because I mean, my fans and subbies know that we don't have step. There we go. So, all right, Renee, so again.
My experience on Married at First Sight Unmatchables. I was on episode 7, and I went on a date with this lovely man named Chaz. We had a great time. It was not a real connection for romantic needs, but we are really good friends. We were just texting earlier today. Okay. So I do really care about him as a person. The entire premise of my portion was they tried to say because I like kinky sex and fantasy-driven sex that I was unmatchable, which is like
I guess I wouldn't have been matchable then, or my wife.
Yeah, I'm like, I've dated a few guys that were into that too. Yeah. But I feel like in the last year or two is when I've really been more open about it and not like, oh, I have to hide this until we're damn near engaged. Yeah, right. So I definitely, it's something that I'm comfortable talking about, and we had went through this whole like exercise of conversations you have on a date. And let me tell you, that was weird for me because they were premising it as if this was a first date, like a blind date, and I was like, I've never been on a blind date before. Yeah. So normally whenever I meet guys, whether it be online or like at work or whatever, which don't recommend dating your coworkers, but it happens. But you already know something about them, right? Like, even when you meet on an app, I don't know if you ever got to date on an app. You've been married. Yeah, I've been married for a long time. So long. Well,
no, never. I don't want to kill me.
It's another conversation. But, so dating on the apps, right, like, you talk to them. So, usually by the time I give out my phone number, I know where they work. I know if they're an only child or not. Like, you know the basics. Exactly. So, by the time we actually get to a date, really, the date is just to see if there's any sexual chemistry. It's like, I feel like we've FaceTimed, we've Zoomed, we've done all the things before actually getting on a date. So I was like, I don't know what my first date conversations are like because I already know all of this. Exactly. So it was it was interesting talking to Pastor Cal about that and trying to explain to this man who's been married almost longer than I've been alive, like trying to explain to him what that's like. Because he was just like, you do what? And I was like, yeah, and I'm like, okay, but by the time I'm on a date, I already know.
You have some background knowledge about this person.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I'm not just jumping in like, so what's your favorite position?
Yeah, right.
That's weird. Right, Right. And I think I said, like, usually one of the first questions I will ask is, like, what's your kink? Okay. Because I feel like a lot of guys, especially black men, which is who I typically date, don't even know what kink means. or that it's okay to have one.
Yeah.
And they don't even some people don't even realize they do have one. Like, you're really into this. It's like, yeah, that's a kink.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It's perfectly natural. So I like to ask that question so we can have that conversation, because then you can kind of gauge like where they are on the spectrum.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was a fun experiment. Talking with Dr. Viviana was amazing because she is a sex expert.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's her specialty. So she focuses on intimacy with partners and things. So talking with her was probably the most comfortable, and she helped me. There's a lot that wasn't shown. I was kind of shocked about. Always. Of course. Yeah. But just some things she helped me realize, like how my best friend. So I have never been in a relationship with a guy who shared the same interests I have in terms of like Harry Potter and Twilight and all that stuff. I've dated guys who will watch it or have seen it or, don't care that I like it. Yeah. But I've never gone into a relationship being like, I need a guy who shares that with me so that we can nerd out about it. I've had situationships and entanglements with a few that may have, and like had things been different, maybe that could have worked out. But, I feel like once you enter into a situationship, it's really hard to like get past that. Definitely. So I was explaining this to her, and she was like, well, why haven't you ever like looked for that in a relationship? And I was like, well, probably because my best friend Shane, who lives in LA, is like who I do all my Harry Potter stuff with. Okay. So it's like I didn't need it in a relationship because I had him. You already had it. Yeah, definitely. But that doesn't work out. Like, you can't have like a best friend that you do all your fun shit with, and then a relationship. What is the dude have? Yeah, what does he have? Yeah. Right? So that's probably why I'm single. Okay. I could see her, point of view with that. Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Yeah, it's definitely a good point of view because, like you said, like, okay, well, what do you leave for the person that you're trying to, build something with? It's like you save all the serious stuff for the relationship and then the fun stuff for your best friend. Yeah, but you need to be able to blend them both. Exactly. Spoken from a person that's been married for 9 years now. It's again a serious relationship for 15. So you know a little something. You know what I'm saying? So you said Chaz is like right down the street from where we shoot at. Why didn't you invite him over? He could have came over here and did a cameo. Yeah, he's actually in Louisiana right now. He's a travel nurse, so he is there. I think it's for work. Like his text messages have been very far apart. I hope he's okay. I texted him before I came over, like, haven't heard from you in a few days. Are you okay? Yeah. But yeah, he was in Baton Rouge at least 4 days ago. Oh damn. Okay. And then he did I made a cute little video reminiscing on our date that I posted, and he commented on that yesterday. So he's alive. He's alive. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Because New Orleans, that area is going through it right now. Like shout out my whole entire step family is from there. So I go there often. I love New Orleans. I text my brother to make sure he was okay. They're in Houston. My best friends are here right now. So we're praying for Louisiana right now. So speaking of dates, so on the show we saw you went on a date, but how far did it go past the TV show? We went on another date after that, like a couple days later. He flew out. We both love to travel, which is why we had that in common. Like literally the day after our date, he flew to Denver to go on a ski trip. Oh damn. Yeah, and I was like, I want to go. Right. And so we talked throughout his whole ski trip. Then we went on a date, a breakfast date when he came back. And he had just gotten an opportunity out in Los Angeles to move out there for being a nurse again for 2 months. Okay. And I think both of us were just kind of like not really looking to do long distance. Yeah. I didn't feel enough. I don't think either one of us felt the chemistry enough to like try to make that work. Yeah. But we still talked almost every other day when he was out in LA. And he's very supportive, very sweet. And then when he came back, we started hooking up with the rest of the cast because we didn't get to film together. Okay. But through my producer and social media, I was able to find a lot of them. A few of them I had mutual friends with. One of them I actually had been following for years and didn't realize it was her. Are you serious? Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. So. Yeah, we are all really close. We've had almost every single episode that came out, we had a watch party for, where we all were there for. And we've had game nights and bar hops and things together. So the cast is really close despite not even meeting each other while filming. Right. Okay, that's what's up. Mm-hmm. So have you guys actually reached out to the other
I don't know, do you feel like it's like the elitist, you know what I'm saying? You got the ones that made it, and then the Unmatchables. Have you guys reached out, or any of them
talked to Chris. So
you talked to Chris?
Chris actually follows me on Clubhouse. I follow him.
Really? The Chris I did videos about.
Yeah, so what happened was, I'm really big on Clubhouse. I love being on there. I go to a lot of Married First Sight rooms.
Go ahead and drop your handle. I don't have iPhone, you know.
Pretty sure, it's for Droid now. I can invite you.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you an invite. I'm pretty sure it's Nisey Ray, Niseyrae, I think. That's what most of my handles are.
We got movie magic, so we can
figure that out. Yeah, put it in later. But so I was in a Married at First Sight room, and Chris is a troll on social media. And even the Facebook pages I was in, he would be in there cursing people out. So he first cursed me out on Facebook because I had to ask about his restaurant. And ask him what the restaurant was. Do you know about his restaurant?
Subway or something like
that? Yeah, it's a Subway, and it's been closed. It was only even open for a few months.
Oh, damn.
He never paid the rent on it. Allegedly.
Oh, the shade.
Allegedly.
The shade is real, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, I
didn't know that.
I'm not a banker. I don't have the financials. I can just go off of what these Twitter streets are saying.
Yeah, I got that same information too.
There was a person who like worked there, and she was like, "Yeah, no, he never paid the rent." So.
Oh damn.
I don't know if it lasted more than 3 or 4 months. Because how long can you stay in a place without paying rent?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been in that situation.
I haven't either. No.
Okay.
And I don't want to shade his accomplishment. Like, I think I couldn't afford to buy a Subway right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't qualify. So I think that's a really great thing that he did. But to act like the Subway is like a 5-star dining establishment and that you still own it, because you don't anymore. At that point, he was not owning it. So it was a little weird. But anyway, back to this Clubhouse. I got up on stage and basically... That's all whenever
Nisey asked on the show for the long.
Basically just like, I just went off on him. Because Chris reminds me of so many dudes that think they're the prize.
Yeah.
It's like, you are not the prize.
Yeah.
Ever. Women are always the prize. Period. We'll
save this discussion for another day, fellas. We'll save it. Yeah, I'm never a yes man, so I'm just gonna let her go. She's the guest on this show, and go ahead, because we could save this debate for a whole nother ass episode.
No, it's fine.
No, that's all right.
Okay.
We're not gonna do that today.
Scared.
I ain't never scared. You know damn well I'll never hold my tongue. Sip your tea. Let me go get my glass. On you bullshit. Hold on.
I finally got him on the stage and just like, I told him, because he basically was trying to victimize himself and be like, I'm the most hated man on reality TV.
I wonder why.
The thing is, if he did not respond, the hate would be a lot less.
Yeah.
Like, he was saying how he was getting death threats at his job, his mom was getting death threats at his
Subway?
Yeah, no, one of the questions I asked was like, what job? Where are they sending these?
What job, Tommy?
I don't know what job he was referring to. I didn't ask because it wasn't important.
Okay.
It wasn't the message here. The message here is that people poke at you because you bite, you yell.
Yeah.
Like, people from their basements love to just poke the bear and watch him react.
Exactly.
So I was like, do not react.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Like, you are giving them the energy that they are craving. You're giving them the attention. And so I told him, I said, because he said something, I don't remember what he said that caused me to be like, I'm on the spinoff. I'm on Unmatchables. So and he was like, oh my God. Like, he got all like friendly for a second. I was like, no.
Keep that same energy. Let's keep.
We're not friends. We're not
right,
friends.
Right.
I just want you to know that I have filmed a reality show as well. So at this point, my episode hadn't dropped yet. So I was like, I understand that, like, editing can happen. I understand how they try to trick you.
All the time.
You've done a reality show too, so you know production. And it's like, they're so smooth with it, you don't even realize you're being fooled. So you're just like, this is my best friend. I'm gonna tell you all the things. And then later you're like, wait a fucking minute. But I love them, so I still text them. I love my producers; they were great. And I feel like, honestly, my edit was pretty phenomenal. Okay. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was good. It was good. I learned some things about you. You know, no, seriously.
A lot of people did.
Yeah, I was like, okay, like we talk, quite often. But I was like, okay, I didn't know that side. I think you hinted one time asking a question. Did I know somebody?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
My cousins, my siblings, they were all like, oh,
really?
All right.
Okay.
And I had to talk with my mom about it before she saw it. But I was just like, Mom, I'm 34. Like, I need you.
Grown.
I am so grown. But sometimes it's hard to remember that, especially, black families.
Yeah, exactly. I deal with this stuff, like, because, I'm as open as a damn open book. You know what I'm saying? And the wife is like, not like I'm muzzled a lot, and I'm like, we grown, we got kids, we're homeowners. Like, what the fuck? Who gives a F about these people?
It's hard. My dad and stepmom did not see it. My dad doesn't actually know about it.
Oh wow.
My stepmom does. She knows. And I wasn't like trying to hide it. It was just like, for me, it was like, I don't know what they're gonna show.
Okay.
So I don't want my dad like to have a heart attack like hearing his daughter talk about sex. So, and even with my mother, I grew up in a very, very prude house. Like when I lost my virginity, I was slut shamed. Like my like I love my mother to death, but like the things she said, I had to remind her of it recently. Like when we were talking about the show, I was like, you were never sex positive. You never encouraged a healthy relationship with sex. Wow. So I didn't want you to see it because we never talk about these kind of things. Now, after her seeing it, I think we've opened up a lot more. We've been able to talk about it a lot more. Yeah. So it was a good experience in that. I was able to talk about my sexual assaults and just kind of like get all of that out and voice something that I have not voiced ever. Yeah. So it was good.
I'm pretty sure. So did you get a lot of positive
feedback?
Yeah, feedback off of that?
I saw a lot of tweets and things like commenting on it. There was one thing that I did clear up a little bit, was that I'm not into S&M or any type of kinky sex because I was sexually assaulted. My sexual assault repressed me exploring my sexuality. Gotcha. And then after lots of therapy, after lots of relationships, I realized that I couldn't be scared of this thing just because this happened to me. Gotcha. And so it happened. I got over it. Or I should say I got past it. I don't know if I got over it necessarily, but I got past it. And now I'm comfortable. I'm okay with being myself and expressing that. And I know that I don't have to, be prude and be squeamish about sex to enjoy it or to find someone to be with. So definitely. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes plenty of sense. Yeah. It makes plenty of sense. I mean, I think it's very difficult being a black person and being into other shit that's not regular mission or vanilla. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it definitely, because it's a lot of judgmental people out there. People can't look past what they've been taught. Yeah. And I think that's what the majority of it is. You know what I'm saying? People they're taught one thing and they don't want to see outside the spectrum. So.
Well, it's like I grew up being told you couldn't talk about sex, you couldn't be sexual, you couldn't show cleavage, you couldn't show your butt. Like you had to be this cute little church girl all the time or you wouldn't get married. Yeah. And then I remember seeing like Kim Kardashian and Amber Rose and Cardi B and like they're married. Yeah, right. So I was like, I don't understand.
Who'd have taught me these bullshit lies?
I could have been out here living my best life this whole time, and I wasn't because I was so worried about reputation. And I was so worried what people would say, and I was like, why do we do that? Especially to black women, why do we do that? Yes. Like, let them have fun. I love the whole City Girls, Hot Girl Summer movement. I'm like, live your lives.
Maybe one day I can get clearance on that. Maybe I can get the wife and we could talk about these type of things that are, taboo in black community, in the black community. So.
Yeah, that would be awesome because I think it's important. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I was so scared to even dive into this world, because I didn't know anybody black who did it. I think that might have been one of the questions I asked you. It was just I know you do some alt stuff, so but like when I moved back to Atlanta in 2020, that was the first little fling that I had was like trying to explore BDSM and seeing if I like this. Because fun fact, I actually don't like being spanked with objects. Okay. Which I thought was funny because they called me like the whipping witch. Yeah, right. I'm like, I don't like being spanked. Maybe a hand, but like softly. I'm really
so not into the flogging?
No.
I've actually tried that before.
Really?
I know a lot of black people like, I ain't about to be flogged, whipped like I'm a damn slave.
Slavery.
But no, right, slavery. Like,
it's giving me slavery.
Yeah, slavery vibes. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe the person that did it was like real subtle.
Gentle.
Yeah. It was just like more of a like stimulating. I'm not into BDSM, but I did have an experience being flogged, and I thought it was cool. Just haven't continued on with it.
But. Well, one of my partners is so just large. Like his hand is like double the size of mine.
Yeah.
And so like his Spanx, I'd be like,
bruh,
you gonna knock me?
Yeah, right.
I need you subtle.
Relax,
like,
relax.
Yeah, calm down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
it's all
like,
in the cuff.
It is in the cuff.
You gotta get the.
Which I just learned recently, and he's very great at that. Okay. But it's like still the pressure.
Yeah,
like
right. Lighten up on it. Yeah.
Yes, like feel my skin, feel my leg. I'm very soft.
Soft.
I'm very soft.
Yeah.
And so any amount of like
it
hurts.
Damaging.
You know, I may have been spanked a lot as a child with belts, so the area might just be raw.
Just raw.
Both my parents were in the military, so I grew up in a very strict household. Even when I'd visit my dad, because I got divorced when I was pretty young, but even visiting my dad, like it was strict. I had to make my bed.
You had to do the whole cuff, the nurse cuff and everything.
I know how. So my sister's really good. This sister. She's,
shout out to her. What's her company brand again?
So again, that is District 85. Shop District 85 on Instagram.
Boom.
So she is like hospital quarters, military quarters.
Yeah.
So
Job Corps. Shout out to Long Beach Job Corps.
Yes.
We had to make our beds like that. Yeah. I didn't go to HBCU. I went to junior college
That's
and Job Corps. But I think I'm successful. You know what I'm saying?
College, I would not have gone to college if I wasn't forced.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other conversation as well. But yeah. my parents said our money's going to Spelman whether you're there or not.
Oh damn.
Like, okay. Yeah, so guess I'm going to Spelman.
Right.
Shout out to Spelman. I love you guys. Class of 09. Love Spellhouse. But college isn't for everybody.
Okay. Well, speaking of college and Spelman, so the accent. You don't have a Georgia accent. Neither do I.
Unless I get around my family.
Yeah. So, give us your background.
So I have my mother is from Alabama, my dad is from Georgia, and my stepmom is from Louisiana. My step family, I consider them my actual family. I do not usually refer to them as step at all. I'm only doing that for the purposes of explaining
of course.
who their relationship. But my parents were both Air Force. They met in North Dakota. That's where I was born.
Wow.
I know. Me and Wiz Khalifa, two black people you now know that
from
were born in North Dakota.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Fun fact. And so, but I don't even remember it. We immediately moved from North Dakota to New Hampshire. My parents got divorced when we were in New Hampshire. Still no black people up there.
Okay.
Like, I had a nanny there, and it was this white lady who just adored me. Like my mom was like, I wanted to take her with me everywhere because she just absolutely loved having a little black baby.
Wow.
Yeah, she was so good to me. So, New Hampshire to England. So I actually I was supposed to start school in England. I actually had an English accent when I first started talking.
Wow.
So I lived there. I lived there from age 2 to age 5. And we moved to Texas. So I went from one accent to the other.
Wow, you went from good day to y'all.
Yeah, literally. Which is why I say y'all now.
Really?
Y'all is in my vocabulary forever.
Okay.
We lived in San Antonio. Then we went from Texas to Germany. While we were in Germany, my mother got an assignment in Norfolk, Virginia that we went to for about 6 months, 3 months, 6 months, something like that.
Okay.
And then back to Germany.
Okay.
And then after Germany, it was Illinois for about 4 years, which was at that time the longest I'd lived anywhere. So Illinois was like where I first considered home. Like those other places, I don't really consider them home.
Yeah.
But Illinois was the first place that I lived there from like 6th grade till 9th grade. So that's like a really big time in a girl's life.
Definitely.
So then I went to Pennsylvania for a year. My mom went to the Army War College, and then I graduated from high school in Los Angeles.
Yeah. So where'd you go?
Palos Verdes Peninsula is a high school I went to.
Okay.
Yeah, up in the hills. You could see Catalina Island from my window.
Oh damn, that's what's up. That's what's up.
I just always say I lived at the end of Crenshaw.
Yeah. The end of Crenshaw, if you're going south, ends up in PV.
Yes.
On the peninsula.
Hawthorne and Crenshaw both end up there. Right there. So
speaking of that, shout out to my homie Audio. You know, he lives in PV.
Okay.
His wife Val. What are you into?
I am into the bondage. That's the part that I really love about BDSM.
Ooh, okay.
I love being tied up, which you need a lot of trust for that.
Of course.
Because you be tied up and left.
Yeah, right.
That
left
is
in a compromise.
You don't know. Yeah. Like that is a fantasy and also the biggest fear of mine. Yeah. And like I really want a relationship where I trust him enough to tie me up and know that he's gonna come back.
Definitely.
I bought this amazing pair of handcuffs. I've only been able to use them once, and it's so upsetting. Look at this. So this is like
damn, these are comfy.
They're comfortable because I've been arrested before in real life, and like handcuffs, they're not comfortable. They hurt so bad. So like, don't get those cheap metal handcuffs.
No.
These are quality. It's like a belt, so it loops in. And this is also good so that in case you do get left, you can pretty much get yourself out of these.
But hold on, we're not gonna do no air demonstration.
You don't want to?
I want to sit back and get you restrained. So let's go. Let's see how this thing goes. My hands are shaky. Hopefully it doesn't. You see how shaky they are?
Drunk?
No, I promise. Like they're always shaky.
Yeah.
And then, bam! Look at that.
So yeah, like I'm restrained, but like worst case scenario, I could get myself out if I needed to.
Could you?
I could, cause like my hands are free enough that I can unbuckle that.
Okay.
So if things got a little scary.
You can just undo it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and show the camera the
Oh my
backside.
goodness.
Yeah.
Can I stand up? I don't even know.
I got you.
Ugh.
So look at that.
I am cuffed.
Look, thumbnail.
Yeah, so
Let me go ahead and get
take
you
me out. Don't make me work for it.
Go ahead and work for it.
Yeah, so that's why I like these. They are strong, so you know you can cuff someone to something and they're not gonna break.
Okay.
But that's for me, like when I'm being restrained, my goal isn't to get out of it, you know, like
S&M it says on there. Can the camera pick that up?
in case you didn't know.
Yeah. Okay.
My goal is never to get out of it. Like I remember one time I was tied up and they were weak. Whatever it was he tied me up with, it was weak and it broke. And I think it just like gently, I don't even know what I did, but it broke right immediately.
Damn.
So don't get cheap things.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Way better than the metal shit. Like the metal shit ain't nothing sexy about
It's
this.
nothing. It hurts.
Yes.
It genuinely hurts.
Yes.
Like, and if you try to put your hands behind your back and like it falls on you, it like you can feel that cutting into you. So that's not fun.
Because even the dope chops have like the metal ones with the little fur, but they still hurt. You know, this is all
so
fur.
I almost got those where it was like metal covered in fur.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the same thing.
shit.
It's just tickling me
Exactly.
now. Yeah. Okay. So definitely check these out. I mean, I have like toys and stuff. One of my guys bought me a Bluetooth toy.
Okay.
So we can play together long distance because he travels a lot.
Love Sense, right?
Yes, that's what it was. It was Love Sense, yeah.
Just give me your login. No. I actually know a couple I know that, you know, so they give me their thing.
Yeah.
Change the vibrations and everything.
It's fun. It's a good time. You can hook up your Spotify to it.
Oh, you can hook up the Spotify to it too? I did not know that. Okay.
Fun times.
I'll send Larissa. I needed to get her one. We got other stuff.
You should, yeah.
You got a wand?
I don't have a wand. What's a wand?
Nick. You don't have a wand?
Google it. Send me a link.
Man, yeah. Hers is broken, so I can't even give a demonstration. But it's like a long thing, big head on that motherfucker. Sound like a damn. All these different speeds on it. Have you coming in like 30 seconds?
Interesting.
Bullshit, you not.
So the next thing I want to buy is the rose pedal.
Okay.
Have you heard about that one?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's the big one that I want to get. That and then there's another one. I don't even know what it's called, but it's more for partner play.
Okay.
But it's like a little suction that's like literally just for clitoral play.
Yeah.
But it's like meant to be used together with penetration.
Never seen that one.
It's purple. I can't remember what it's called. My friend got it. We just went on a retreat recently.
Yeah.
And shout out to Spellhouse AD. And my friend got it as a gift, and it was amazing.
Really?
So,
okay. We got one that has the sucker on it and then has like a insert for like a G-spot also.
Yeah, so this is
that dog or something like that.
Yes. Jasmine's dog or
something like that.
Somebody's dog. Somebody's got a dog.
These girls were going crazy in the Facebook group I was in, and I was like, you know, I'm nasty. So I was like, let me go get the wife one of these.
Yes. So we have that link as well. That's down the line because that one's amazing too. But it's like I don't need that right now. I have the Love Sense, and then I think the suction one. It's just for the suction because your partner is supposed to be the penetration.
Gotcha.
So,
which makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Which is like, that's what toys for me. For me, I don't want a toy to replace a man. I want a toy to play with my man.
Yeah, of course. Ain't nothing like laying in the bed playing with each other.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like, toys are meant to be shared.
Exactly.
Played with friends.
The people are meant to be shared too. That's another conversation. It's another conversation.
Monogamy is bullshit.
Yeah, it's some bullshit we've been taught.
It's a scam.
Yeah, it is. Well, definitely, it was good finally getting you on the show. And please, Renise, do not be a stranger to the show.
Not.
Like, I thought, I mean, this conversation was great, especially with somebody that's like-minded.
Yes.
You know, it was definitely good. And I think we could sit back and do some greater good, especially in the Black community and moving forward, you know, and learning some things that are taboo.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like vaccinations.
Exactly. Get the shot. Get the shot.
Shot girl fall.
Hey. And we're not talking about tequila, but definitely keep the shots of tequila on deck, you guys. And Renise, shout out your handle if you want these folks to be able to find you.
My Instagram handle is Curly, CURLY, girl, GARL, Ray, RAE on Instagram. And from there you can find all my other shit.
Yeah, because you're on YouTube also.
I'm on YouTube. I don't really post that much on YouTube. I used to do some hair stuff, but you can find all my links from my Instagram page.
And then we shouting out the sister one more time.
And my sister's page, you can get all your luxurious headbands, is District 85 on Instagram. It is Shop District 85. District DISTRICT number 85.
Boom. Well, definitely
thank you for
appreciate
having me.
It was so much definitely. We will be back together. I promise you guys. This is not the end of us. We got some debates to continue on. We got some enlightening to do to these folks.
For sure. Gotta school this one.
Yeah.
He thinks women are the prize. What the fuck
is
that?
It goes a lot deeper than that. But I didn't want to steal the attention from shining on you right now. So you'll be the prize for this episode.
I'm the prize.
For this episode.